Good YouTube Yu-Gi-Oh vendor here with another deck profile. This time it's going to be my Pure Ryzeal, so no collaboration, no feature on this. Gonna give you the extra deck first and then the main deck like I usually do. No side deck yet. I'm still figuring that out. One detonator. This is the reason why you play Ryzeal. Is because he's just that good of a boss monster, can protect itself and other seeds, can blow up cards that they summon or activate, and also can swing over basically everything in the game at this point. And it can attach materials from the graveyard to it, which is one copy that you can attach to it, and that really helps you out a lot, keeping it safe and keeping the interruptions going. And then dual drive, I play two. This card is phenomenal. Like the fact that you can search two cards from your deck, and on top of that, you can attach a material to it too. That's a Ryzeal monster, and the fact that it decreases and increases your monster's attack and decreases your opponent helps you get over troubling cards. The card is really good. Like I play enough targets for where it's really amazing, still to this day, and that's why I play too. For consistency purposes, that you want to see the cards that help you win, and that's what Duo Drive allows you to do. Eclipse Twins is a good card. I only play one of them, even though you say, well, you play Pure Ryzeal, why you only play one? I'll get to that. But other than that, this card is on 2,500 with 12 defense. It can swing twice, and you can bring back a seed monster when it's sent to the grave. So that's really good, and that's why I still play it. Masquerade, I could summon it, but I just mainly use it for 7 Tachyon. Obviously, that's the main purpose of this card. But you technically can go into it if you need to. Exotine Knight wipes the board. It's the Zeus for rank 4s. The only difference is it destroys instead of sins, and that is a big difference, and it does come up. But a 1900 monster that can clear the board is really strong still to this day, even after errata. And then Starly's Photon Dragon, I mainly use this to protect. You just don't want to get Lightning Storm or evenly if you can avoid it. Plus, you rather be safe anyway than lose a duel. And Photons allows you to do that. Castell shuffles back. I had some situations where monsters couldn't be destroyed, and Castell solves that problem. Plus, it can put a card face down in defense position too. That can come up, but you mostly gonna be using it for a Kapos effect. And then Daigusto Emerald. Some people play it, some people don't, but I love it because you can just take 3 monsters, put them back in the deck, including Dual Drive, including Detonator, and any other seed. Plus, on top of that, you can do it with your main deck monsters since they all at 2. You love to do that. Also, you can do it with your hand traps. So, no complaint there. If you want to search your Pyro and you got to get to it the tough way, Flirt on Flame Bench, he can get it done for you. And that's what it's in there for. Plus, the second effect is really good too, but y'all know it is an old card. And then Dugaris, you can draw, you can summon, you can have a bump up and attack. Just a standard card in every deck almost, but especially in rank 4 decks. Dugaris does a lot to help you win. And then Babuska, the defensive card, summon it when you don't have a hand and see what your opponent can do. If they out it, they out it. If they can't, then you're in a strong position possibly in future turns. Tornado Dragon, blow up back row. Sometimes you want to go in the detonator. Sometimes you already have it in the grave or you already have it on the field. And you say, well, I don't really want to use my detonator. I want to use it for something more important. Well, you can just go into Tornado Dragon and blow up back row. And then Aggregator, probably a card that people say you got to hit X or you got to hit Aggregator because they're just too strong together. But I would say makes sense. The card can negate a face-up card, and you can do it multiple times in the duel, whether it's in the graveyard or whether you send it off a seed, or whether if you recycle it and send it back off X. It comes up every duel. And Typhon, this is why I play one of Quick Twin. It won me so many games. I was thinking, like, people say, oh, you're in a losing position. Sometimes you're in an okay position, and you just need to get over one card, or you just need to interrupt one card. And Typhon can swing over a majority of the other monsters, especially in the main deck. So it was just too strong, and it came up too many times, and it helped me win games. So I just kept it in, and I didn't regret it, is basically what I'm saying. the main deck monsters. 2X, the best one because of aggregator and equips twin, but he can search just like every other Ryzeal. He has good defense just in case you get hand trapped. Um, and I do play a lot of hand traps, so that stops my opponent too. And they usually can't run over this card with no main deck monsters, is why I say that. Ice is basically like a tour guide, summon from deck when it's summoned, and it can search too like the other ones. Sword is a stender. You can just summon it if you control a Ryzeal monster, and then you can search with that. They all are very, very important to the consistency of this deck. They very, very important to being able to win, even though it don't seem like it. And then Node is like a wolf bark, but you have to lose a card to be able to summon it. And then you can special summon it too if you control a sea monster in your graveyard or on the field. And then Star is really shining in the new format. Everybody's playing it because you can just attach a material off of a seed, summon it, get cross, get plug in, or even get plasma hole if you play them. And that's really strong that you can have access to that after your dual drive, possibly get impermed or Domunist or even Veilered or even Ash. You can still say, well, Star Ryzeal, get the card that I wanted anyway. Still not going to get both cards, but you at least can get one of them. You're not going to really be mad about it. Ash, one of the best generic hand traps. One of my favorite hand traps ever was always Ghost Bell. There's no better time to main deck in 3. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, this card has came up and won me so many games. It's good against certain field spells. It's good against certain fusion spells. It's good against trying to get a card back. Bell has been fantastic. I have not regretted putting this in my main deck. And a controversial thing that I did was taking out the more charming Fuoses for Mourners. And y'all know that I used to play Mourner a lot, but I'm not changing this. This card has been fantastic. The fact that they summon a Link or they summon an extra deck monster, you say no effect. And even if you leave it, then you happy where they put you're stopping that just like a Fuos. And then on top of that, if they let it go off the field, you burn them. So you're not gonna really learn. You ain't not gonna really be hurt by playing this over Fuos, because most things you're trying to do is stop your opponent from going off or stop your opponent big play. And Mourner can do both of those things just like Fuos. Honestly, I played it. 3 Droll, probably one of the most critical hand traps. It stops you so hard nowadays, especially if you do the mirror match. It's very, very good. It's good against a lot of decks right now. It always has been good. It's just the decks are just so predicated on drawing or trying to search, I should say. And this card just says no for the rest of the turn. So it comes up basically every duel. So it's never a brick. Veiler, people go and say that's funny you still playing fake Veiler. It works. You know, if you like Imperm, then you're going to like Veiler. And if you like Veiler, you're going to like Mourner. And if you can have all 3 of them, I ain't going to lie to you, I'm playing them. Because they all do similar things, but you can hold one and keep the others. And those cards usually come up to stopping or beating your opponent. And like I said, if they can't get over your detonator or they can't build a good enough combo to be able to do it, you ain't going to be mad or angry about it, because you're going to look at it like, I can interrupt it, I can stop it anyway. And even if they do summon something or they stop all, play through all my hand traps, I can still blow up the rest with the detonator. That's the way I play this deck, and it works. Cross, it can be a pot of avarice for the monsters, and it also can negate a monster effect by detaching the material off a seed. Plug-in comes up, summon one from the graveyard, attach a material to it in the Ryzeal monster too. I still play it because that comes up where you need to keep your board built, or you need to find a way to get back in the game. And this card don't really have no downside besides you have to have a setup to be able to use it in the graveyard or banish. And once you have that, it's just a powerful card, especially late in the game. Book of Moon, people gonna question this one too, but I love it. Like, the fact that you can stop them from attacking, You can stop them from summoning from the extra deck because you need to be able to link, synchro, fusion, or exceed. You need materials on face up on the field, and this card just says if I book at the right time, you can't attack. If I book at the right time, you can't go through an extra deck and summon a card with a card that was Book of Moon. And usually they need one or two cards to go into a summon. And even if they do a link one, you can still Book of Moon one card to stop it. And then you can Book a Moon multiple times in a turn. That's why the card went to one, and I see why. You know what I mean? Because I played with it back in the day, so I knew how good it was. And I just don't see why I wouldn't play it now. I don't play 7th Ascension because of Droll, so I just play the 7th Tachyon. If it goes through, you're still going to be in a decent position if you have a card in your hand already. So it's not the greatest position to be in, but you still in a better position than most decks can be in. That's why people love Ryzeal. So Tachyon allow you to reveal Masquerade in the extra deck to search a seed monster in your extra deck like Masquerade does it, and then you basically search X, most likely, or Ice, and then after that you just continue to play or continue to do your thing. But Tachyon is real strong. I just don't like the fact you have to put a card back to your deck. But other than that, it's just a real generic search card. Bonfire, you got to play it because this search is one level 4 or a lower pyro monster. You have a bunch of pyros in the deck, and that's what you're mainly trying to use it for. I also play Pot of Prosperity because it allows you to dig through your deck, and then you can obviously get the card that you want. You can banish 3 or 6, and that depends on how further you can dig in. And like I said, that always has been a great card, even in this deck, because you're not using your extra deck as much as you think you are, because you're really summoning the same cards, and some cards you're not even going to use, and you already going to know the matchup or how to play against a deck just by seeing what they play or knowing what they play. So Prosperity always comes in clutch. Call by the Grave, really good. Just stops hand traps for the most part, but you can also use it on other monsters too. And it's one of the best cards ever created. You can say the same thing about Talents. It has 3 banned effects. I love to draw 2, but some people like to knock out the hand. I got that option too if I need it. Or I can always take control over a monster and do whatever I want with it. And then cross out the other one, the holy trinity of stopping cards that can hurt you. And cross out can stop monster spells and traps. You just got to call the name and have it in your deck. Then banish it, and then it says no more activation with that card. And then Plasma Hole, people gonna say, well, Quinn, you still play Plasma Hole? Yeah, I mean, the card is a good interruption, and you can get to it easier now because of Star. And if you don't want to dual drive, you can still draw it, or you can open it. And depending on how the duel goes, it can still come in handy even later in the duel. Some people don't like it for that reason. It's not good right away. It's not really, a card that you can really depend on early in the game. But games I've been playing, it has been coming up in the activation of its Fated Destroyer card. Won me games too. So I'm just looking at like the card helped me more than some other cards in the deck. And that's the purpose of the card in general. So I like it. And then obviously the 3 infinite impermanences, still one of the better cards in the game. Some people not liking it as much as they used to, but they still do play it anyway because you can't find too many cards in the slots that you have that's better than impermanence. Impermanence does more than most cards ever created. That's why you see it still in a lot of decks. You can say the same thing about Call by the Grave, Prosperity. You can say the same thing about Talents. You can say the same thing about cards like Tachyon. Those cards ain't the greatest, but they get you where you got to get to, and that's the win. And thank y'all for watching, y'all for subscribing, thank y'all for checking out the channel. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Other than that, I'm going for now. See you guys later with more content. And don't forget, keep on grinding and keep on playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Because it's fun for everybody that plays. So competitiveness can be fun too if you do it the right way. Other than that, I'm going for now. Peace out.